Hello everyone, this is ACHAI Akaya, and we are in game number 7 right now between LiquidTLO and MaDFroG. This, once again, is a Showmatch series, which, as I mentioned, I believe is a best-of-9 series. So a lot of games being played between these two guys. And as I mentioned in one of the earlier games, this is not the first Showmatch that these guys have done. So playing a lot of good Showmatches. We've seen some great games, and MaDFroG really showing that he can hold his own in this new StarCraft 2 game. But anyways, TLO spawning as the yellow Terran in the lower right-hand corner here, playing off against MaDFroG, the red Zerg. And this map is... Hello everyone, this is ACHAI Akaya, and this is game number 7 in the Showmatch series between LiquidTLO and MaDFroG. And this is game number 7. As I mentioned, the series right now is to TLO. He's got a 4-2 lead on MaDFroG right now, so MaDFroG really has a lot of catching up to do. As I mentioned, I believe this is a best-of-9 series, so TLO one game away from taking that series, if that is indeed correct. But the map we're playing on right now, Delta Quadrant, this is a 4-player map, and this is one of the maps that was added to the pool on release. As you can see, some unique features about this map, if you're not really familiar with it yet, is there is a natural expansion in the back that has destructible rocks blocking it. However, it is really easy to defend from the initial attacks because this front entrance right here is obviously very far away from that expansion. The only thing you got to worry about really is this high ground that's right next to it, because getting some tanks up there can be very, very difficult to deal with if you do not have the proper units. So obviously keeping scouting and being aware of that cliff at all times is absolutely crucial. And then there is also a very accessible high yield. As you can see here, this is the ramp leading out of the main, and there's a high yield very, very close to that. So that is an easy expansion to take here as well once you take down this destructible debris. And of course there is the typical natural out in front of the base. So a lot of expansions, very easy to get to early on in the game. So we'll definitely see a more economic game, I would imagine, on this map. Although since the players have spawned in very close spawns, we may see a little bit of a faster game. I don't know. We'll see. They are scouting each other really early here, and MaDFroG apparently leaving his drone right at the entrance, trying to block TLO possibly from building a barracks there, although it looks like he is going to move it into the base as TLO has not built anything there. And wow, an early command center going up for TLO back at this expansion. Oh my goodness, and MaDFroG is going to scout it right away, realizing that since there is no barracks up yet, that there is something else on the map, and trying to see if there was an early expansion possibly going down, and his sense was exactly right. There is another SCV going off there, going to go help his SCV friend that is building the command center to try to keep him from taking off that SCV, and managing to force him to push off, although that SCV still does have about 20 HP, so it's not in danger of going down anytime soon, although there are 2 more SCVs right here that are not currently mining, so definitely doing a good amount of harassment there early on. And wow, actually we see MaDFroG going for the double expansion very, very early in the game. This is actually a little bit reminiscent of Jaedong. I've seen him do a lot of these mass hatchery opens where he basically just goes for a super economic game, and of course without the spawn larva ability from the Queen in StarCraft 1, you know, having those extra hatcheries was absolutely crucial to keep up with production. But a gas also going down here for MaDFroG, so going to get that gas relatively early despite the expansion, so we are probably going to see some speedlings, possibly some roaches early on, and TLO actually walling off already, only going 2 barracks this time, though usually he likes to complete that wall off by putting up a factory instead of a second barracks or supply depot, so differentiating his build just a little bit, as we can see. And there is still 1 drone in the mix from MaDFroG, although finally getting taken down with the help of this Marine that was out for TLO, going to be able to take out that scouting drone. And the orbital command is up and running at the expansion. As you can see, the destructible debris is still in place, so he is mining a little bit longer distance than usual, so he will need to take that out in order to get his optimal mining paths. But MaDFroG also has his own expansion up and running out at his natural, and his second base just finished, so he is going to be getting drones over to that. So already we are seeing some very economic mindset builds here, so I'm very interested to see what this game turns into, because both players are going to have a lot of resources at their disposal here very shortly. And looking at the income tab, we can see that there is a pretty large margin between the 2 players right now. 7 harvesters in favor of MaDFroG, so he has a pretty large economic advantage right now. As you can see, already a couple hundred ahead of TLO on the gas, and right about even with the minerals, possibly just a little bit behind there on the minerals, but right about even it looks like, and already getting his layer tech up and running. the speed upgrade is researching, and on the production menu here we can see that he is producing 8 Zerglings in addition to that speed upgrade. A few more drones of course popping out as well, so definitely going to try to get a little bit of map control right now. And TLO apparently just right now is only going to be cranking out barracks units. Once again, he has not at all gotten a factory, and from what it looks like, he doesn't plan on getting one anytime soon. Sending some Marines back here, going to try to take out this destructible debris so he can get that orbital command in the proper position, and some links from MaDFroG coming up to take a little bit of a peek here. And the Marines apparently going to move out and take out those Zerglings. One of them managing to get away with a little bit of HP still, but the Marines are not going to have any problems holding those off. And there are some Lings moving into the natural base in the back, taking out the destructible debris from MaDFroG too. So we may see him put down a 3rd expansion really early in the game, which I would actually be kind of surprised to see that, because he does not even have all of his bases right now fully saturated. We'll see exactly what he tries to do here though. But a Baneling's Nest now going down as well for MaDFroG, since he saw all those Marines from TLO and also getting his Spire. So a lot of tech going down for for MaDFroG right now. And TLO once again trying to break down these destructible debris. As we can see, he's still pounding away on that, although he does have the help of some Marauders right now. But going back to his entrance, he is actually switching into a little bit more Marauder heavy build here. We can see on the production menu, he is only building Marauders, not building any more Marines right now. And I'm not sure if TLO is yet aware of the Spire tech. Yeah, looking at the view that TLO has of MaDFroG's base last, he is obviously not aware of the expansion on the side here, and he is also not aware of the Baneling tech or of the Spire tech. So he is definitely going to need to do some scouting very soon, and this may be actually a very strong push, as I don't believe that MaDFroG has a lot of units out right now, although he is trying to mass some more Zerglings and actually getting some Banelings in the mix too. So he is going to need to scramble to get some units into play here to take on this Terran army, because there are a lot of infantry units, and apparently one SCV going to lead the charge here against this Zerg base, and really just trying to hold on until these Banelings can get in. Oh my goodness, and those Banelings doing so much damage, taking out every one of those Marines. There's a couple more coming up right now, but all of the Marauders have also been very much softened up, and here comes some more Banelings taking out the rest of the Marauders that are in play. And this last couple Zerglings going to clean up that last Marine here. There are some more infantry reinforcements coming right now, although I think at this point he is just going to be throwing those units away, because there are going to be plenty of Zerglings to deal with the rest of this infantry. And TLO going to find himself backed into a corner right now. He really needs to wall that supply depot up once again in order to hold off this Zergling push. Managing to take out that Marine, but just barely getting that supply depot up in time. If MaDFroG had been a little bit more on top of his Zergling control, he might have been able to squeeze a handful of them in there, but nonetheless managing to hold off that attack with flying colors, and he is very good shape as far as tech goes right now. The Spire just